Hello friends, welcome to my kitchen. Let's start by cracking 3 fresh eggs into a bowl. Eggs have always been a symbol of home for me. Simple, nourishing, and full of life. Add 1 teaspoon of salt. Friends, I'd be so happy to hear where you're from. Let me know your city, country, and if you're in the US, your state too. 1 teaspoon of black pepper. And 1 teaspoon of oregano. Pour in a cup or 240 milliliters of cream, rich, smooth, and full of calcium and good fats that keep us strong. Then add 3 tablespoons of flour. One teaspoon of baking powder. Mix everything until the batter turns silky and smooth. It's such a small moment of calm, just you and the rhythm of the whisk, knowing this simple mix will turn into something warm and golden later on. Now, fill a pot with water. Add 1 teaspoon of salt. If something is unclear in the recipe, just leave a comment, and I'll answer as soon as possible. Drizzle of olive oil. That little touch helps the pasta cook evenly and gives it a lovely shine. Bring to a boil, then drop in about 8 ounces or 250 grams of pasta. Cook the pasta until al dente. In a pan, heat a splash of olive oil, heart healthy and full of antioxidants. Finely chop 1 onion. Onions not only add flavor, but also help boost your immune system, a small comfort on busy days. And as that sharp, sweet scent fills the air, it always reminds me of coming home from school to the smell of something cooking, that quiet promise that dinner was on its way. Thank you for being with us, dear subscribers. You can now support our channel by becoming a sponsor and enjoy early access to new videos. We truly appreciate your support. Toss it in. That gentle sizzle and the first wave of sweetness feel like the beginning of something good. Stir until golden. Liking this video would be appreciated. It's a great way to show your support. Grate 1 carrot. Bright and full of beta-carotene for healthy eyes, its cheerful color lights up the pan like a bit of sunshine. And add it next. Then grate 2 cloves of garlic. That aroma, sharp and warm, always takes me back to evenings when my grandmother cooked. You could smell the garlic halfway down the street, and you just knew something delicious was waiting. Stir them in. Now, chop one chicken fillet into small pieces. Chicken is such a wonderful source of lean protein, the kind of food that fuels you without weighing you down. Add it to the pan. As it cooks, the sizzling sound mixes with the earthy scent of the vegetables, a little music of home. Now, finely slice 7 mushrooms. Take your time and enjoy the rhythm of the knife. Mushrooms are full of minerals and antioxidants, and they add that wonderful earthy depth to any dish. They soak up the flavors beautifully and bring that deep, hearty note to the dish. Add the mushrooms to the pan and let them soak up all the flavors already there: the onions, the garlic, the warmth of the spices. Next, finely chop 1 bell pepper. Its bright color and crisp sweetness always bring a little cheer to the cutting board. As you slice, that fresh scent fills the air and takes me right back to childhood summers, when we'd pick peppers straight from the garden and eat them still warm from the sun. Add the chopped pepper to the pan. Now, dice 1 ripe tomato, soft, juicy, and full of lycopene, which supports heart health and gives that deep red color. Fresh tomatoes always remind me of family picnics, when someone would slice them right at the table and everyone would reach for a piece. Add the tomato to the pan and watch as their sweetness and freshness balance out all the savory flavors perfectly. Sprinkle a little salt, one teaspoon of black pepper, one teaspoon of oregano, stir gently, and as the colors blend together, you can almost feel the comfort of a home-cooked meal coming to life. Drain the pasta and pour it into a large bowl. Add the chicken and vegetables. Mix it all together. Grate 2 ounces, or about 60 grams of Parmesan cheese. That nutty, salty scent instantly fills the air, reminding me of family gatherings, where someone always said, "Just a little more cheese." It's not only delicious, but packed with calcium, good for the bones and the soul. Stir everything together. The warmth melts the cheese just enough to coat everything in a light, creamy layer. Take 3 small round baking dishes. Spoon in the pasta with the chicken and vegetables. Pour the creamy egg and flour mixture evenly over the top. I always love this step. Watching the sauce slowly sink through the pasta feels so peaceful, like the dish is coming together all on its own. Grate a bit more cheese. The cheese gives that beautiful crust when baked, bubbling and slightly crisp at the edges. And sprinkle it generously over the top. That final layer that will melt and turn golden in the oven. Place the dishes into a preheated oven at 360 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius and bake for 20 to 30 minutes. When the casseroles are golden and bubbling, take them carefully out of the oven. The tops are crisp and beautifully browned, the edges sizzling just a little. I hope it brings as much warmth and joy to your home as it always brings to mine. Thank you for cooking with me today. But don't go just yet. There's another cozy and tasty recipe I'd love to share with you. Take 1 pound or 450 grams of ground beef. Add 2 eggs into the beef. Now, add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 tablespoon of flour. This helps to hold everything together. Next, finely chop a small bunch of fresh parsley. It adds a burst of color and freshness, and you'll love the aroma as it combines with the meat. Fresh herbs like parsley really make a difference, don't you think? Friends, I'd be so happy to hear where you're from. Let me know your city, country, and if you're in the US, your state too. Next, grate 1 onion. The sweetness of the onion will balance out the savory beef, and it also helps add a lovely depth of flavor to the dish. Onions are full of antioxidants, which are great for your heart health. Plus, they have anti-inflammatory properties that can help support your overall well-being. Add it to your mixture and give everything a good stir with your hands. When you mix by hand, you can really feel the texture of the ingredients coming together, which helps make sure everything is evenly distributed. It's one of those moments where you can connect with your food. A little tip: don't be afraid to get your hands a little messy. Mixing by hand ensures the ingredients are thoroughly combined, and it helps keep the texture just right. Now, spread the meat mixture onto the parchment paper. As you spread the mixture, take a moment to think about all the family meals you've made over the years. I remember watching my mom do this, gently pressing the meat into a perfect rectangle. There's something so comforting about taking the time to make each step just right, isn't there? It's in these little moments that we really create something special. Spread the mixture out evenly, making sure the edges are nice and smooth. This will be the base for our roll-ups. The more care you take here, the better the final result will be. If something is unclear in the recipe, just leave a comment, and I'll answer as soon as possible. Next, pour some olive oil into a pan and heat it up. Liking this video would be appreciated. It's a great way to show your support. While the pan is heating up, let's chop 1 onion into small pieces. I always love how onions transform when they're cooked. They start off sharp and then become soft and sweet, with that rich, caramelized flavor. It takes me back to when my grandmother would saute onions in her kitchen, and the whole house would smell so comforting. It's the kind of scent that just makes you feel at home. As you chop, just focus on getting even pieces so they cook uniformly, and you'll be ready to add them to the pan. It's one of those small steps that really builds the flavor. Friends, if you enjoy what you see, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for similar recipes in the future. Sauté the onions until they're soft and golden. You'll know they're ready when they've turned a beautiful caramelized color and that sweet savory smell fills the air. It's such a comforting aroma, isn't it? Once the onions are nice and golden, add 2 tablespoons of barbecue sauce. Give it a good stir to mix it all together. The sauce will bring in a smoky, tangy flavor that perfectly complements the sweetness of the onions. As you stir, just take a moment to appreciate how those flavors are coming together. It's these little touches that make a dish come to life. Then, grate 1 carrot. I really love using carrots in my dishes because they not only add a beautiful color, but they also bring a natural sweetness that balances out savory flavors so well. Plus, they're packed with nutrients like beta-carotene, which is great for your eyes and skin, and they help with digestion thanks to their fiber content. Add the grated carrot to the pan and cook for about 3 minutes. The carrots will start to soften and release their natural sweetness, making the dish even more vibrant and delicious. Now, let's take this veggie mix and evenly distribute it on top of the beef mixture. This will create a nice flavorful layer in our roll-up. It always reminds me of the days when we'd prepare meals together as a family, each ingredient adding its own little magic. The veggies and the beef combine to create such a delicious and comforting filling. It's like a taste of home in every bite. Next, let's melt some butter in a pan. Take 2 mushrooms and chop them up. Mushrooms bring an earthy flavor that pairs so well with the other ingredients. They're also packed with essential vitamins like vitamin D and full of antioxidants that help support your immune system. Not only are they low in calories, but they're also a great source of fiber, making them a healthy addition to any dish. Add them to the pan and cook until they're golden. Now, chop 1 red onion into small pieces. Red onions are one of my favorites to use. They're not just packed with flavor, but also have some fantastic health benefits. And don't you just love how they add that beautiful pop of color to any dish? The sweet, mild flavor of red onion will balance out the savory notes in our meal, making everything taste just right. Add it to the pan. Sauté for 5 more minutes, letting all the flavors blend together. Then, finely chop 3 garlic cloves. Garlic. It always reminds me of the evenings spent in my mom's kitchen, where the scent of garlic would fill the air as it sautéed in the pan. I can still see her, with her wooden spoon, gently stirring everything together. Add them in. Garlic just brings everything together. It's like the heart of so many great dishes. Once the garlic is cooked in, take the pan off the heat and layer these vegetables over the beef mixture. This veggie layer is going to add moisture and tons of flavor to our roll. Now, fill a small pot with water. Add 2 eggs, boil them for 7 minutes to get hard-boiled eggs. While the eggs are boiling, let's grate 10 ounces or 300 grams of soft cheese. Soft cheese like this is not only delicious, but also a great source of calcium, which is vital for maintaining strong bones and teeth. It's also rich in protein, helping to support muscle growth and repair. Set aside half of the cheese because we'll use it later. The other half goes into a bowl. Next, take your boiled eggs and grate them. Grated eggs blend easily into the dish and provide a creamy texture. They're also packed with protein, essential vitamins like B12, and minerals like zinc, which are great for supporting muscle health and boosting energy. Once the eggs are grated, add them to the cheese mixture. Add 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Grate 1 garlic clove on a mini grater. Stir everything together until smooth. This creamy mixture will give our roll-up a rich, satisfying texture. Spread this mixture evenly over the beef and veggie layer, making sure to cover every inch. The cheese and egg mixture will add a rich, creamy texture that complements the savory beef and sweet veggies perfectly. Now, carefully roll the beef into a log, using the parchment paper to help you shape it neatly. This step takes a little patience, but it's worth it to get that beautiful, uniform roll. Once it's rolled up, wrap the entire thing in foil to keep it nice and secure while it bakes. The foil will trap in all the juices and flavors, ensuring that the roll stays moist and tender during baking. Preheat the oven to 360 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius and bake for 30 minutes. Next, pour a generous drizzle of olive oil into the pan. Take 2 to 3 large potatoes, chop them into small pieces. Potatoes always remind me of family dinners when we'd gather around the kitchen, everyone taking turns peeling and chopping. There's something so comforting about preparing potatoes together. It brings back memories of simpler times, where the kitchen felt like the heart of the home. Cook them until they're golden and crispy on the outside. Then sprinkle 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and 1 teaspoon of paprika. Stir everything well, and these potatoes will be the perfect side to our beef roll. Next, take a baking dish and arrange the potatoes in the bottom. Now, chop 1 bell pepper. While you're cutting the bell pepper, remember it's not just about the color it brings to the dish, but also how bell peppers are rich in vitamin C, which is great for your immune system. Their natural sweetness will complement the savory potatoes beautifully. Once you've chopped the bell pepper, lay it evenly on top of the potatoes. Now, take 1 or 2 tomatoes and slice them into rings. Tomatoes add such a fresh, juicy burst to the dish, and they're packed with antioxidants, which are great for skin health. Lay them on top of the bell peppers, just like shown in the video, creating that lovely layered effect. It'll look so vibrant and appetizing. Once the beef roll is ready, carefully remove it from the oven. Place it on top of the vegetables in the baking dish. In a small bowl, mix 1 tablespoon of tomato paste, 1 tablespoon of barbecue sauce, 1 teaspoon of mustard. Mix it well. Brush this glaze over the top of the roll, making sure it's evenly coated. Now, sprinkle the remaining cheese on top of the roll and return it to the oven for another 20 minutes. Once everything is cooked, slice a piece of the beef roll and plate it with those beautifully roasted vegetables. The colors are just so inviting, aren't they? The tender beef, perfectly roasted veggies. It's truly a feast for both the eyes and the taste buds. Finely chop a small bunch of fresh parsley and sprinkle it on top to finish. This meal is hearty, flavorful, and so satisfying. It's the kind of dish that makes everyone feel warm and cozy. I hope this recipe brings warmth and joy to your home, just like it does for mine. Thank you for cooking with me today. Until next time, happy cooking!